after dating for a while and just being engaged and knowing that we were going to get married, I think the area that hurt our relationship the most was getting too involved physically. And then after that took place, giving Satan a threshold in the relationship ended up bringing up a lot of questions about each other's past that were hard to deal with. And really struggling with those things internally to the point where it was like torture.
The words that we threw back and forth to each other were just, I mean, they're not something you would think a Christian married couple would say to each other. You know, I hate yous, the other words that we said. I mean, when it comes down to everyday living life, we saw how depraved we are, how selfish we are. I mean, it was, the first 3 months were horrific. I mean, we couldn't stand each other.
I got to a point in our marriage where I wanted to die. I was like, heaven's the only thing I have left to look forward to in life. I'm married, I'm not getting a divorce, and there's no way I can ever enjoy marriage the way I wanted to.
I lived for about 9 years in active drug addiction. Throughout those 9 years, it progressively got worse, in and out of detox, out of drug programs, halfway houses, and yeah, I tried the 12-step method and just trying to change drugs, tried just about everything different that I could possibly get off drugs and alcohol, and basically burn all my bridges and all my relationships through that process of using people to get what I wanted. Ended up overdosing a couple times by myself in my apartment and got to the point of sticking needles in my arms and making a lot of bad decisions, getting a lot of fights, and started getting kicked out of bars, and I was by myself. Nobody was calling me to hang out with me, and nobody was returning my phone calls because I was very selfish, and it's all about me.
I had borrowed a significant amount of money on private notes and hadn't bothered about telling Marty what was going on because it was business. It was separate from our life. And it was really tough to come home that night after losing the business and tell her that not only were we never going to see any of the money that we put in it, and that our whole life savings and everything we had in the house was gone and we'd never see it again. On top of that was that there was another significant amount of money, close to $60,000 that I had borrowed that she didn't know about. And so it was a very tough time for us. And it was damaging for us as a couple.
When he told me that, a lot of different feelings went through me as far as, was I to blame? Should I have been more involved? Should I have pushed and, you know, said, what's going on? I need more. But then that looks like I don't trust him. But ultimately, then it broke a trust. And then I mean, we're married for life, and so we'll get through this. But the hardest part is the trust. And I still struggle with trust. And there's times I don't trust God. I don't trust my husband, and that's not part of a relationship. A healthy relationship is based on trust.
When I was a freshman in college, Pat and I found out that we were pregnant, and at that time I had my idea of what my life was supposed to be. I was supposed to go to college. I was supposed to get a degree. There were all of these things that I was supposed to do. Even though I was such a mess on the inside and doing all of these bad things on the outside, I looked like a pretty good girl. So I was afraid of having that image ruined. And at that point, even though I knew very much so that there was a life growing inside of me, I think I had been making bad choices for so long. All of the things in my life that I said that I wouldn't do up until that point, I had done. So this was just something, even though I was very against abortion and said, you know, I don't understand how people can do that. Once I was in that position, that's the choice that we ended up making. We decided to have an abortion, and I can remember just being there, just thinking, what am I doing?